All right, welcome back to Kill the Computer. My name is Caleb. As every week, I am joined by my co-host, June. How are you this week?
Fresh back from New York,
Yeah.
fresh off the deathbed. I'm feeling a lot better, back 100%, ready to talk about maybe two of the most pathetic people known to mankind. So this is like I feel great today. This is wonderful.
Yeah, all apologies to everybody for the kind of slight delay this week. It happens this time of year every time where there's travel, sickness. This time, I'm not the one. It's usually me. And in fact, somebody made fun of me on Patreon earlier today. They were like, don't worry about the delay. I know Caleb is America's sickest boy. And it's like, well, historically true. However, this time I am good. So
it was not you this time.
Yeah, June was in New York. And then I also had some birthday stuff going on. So that kind of just threw a wrench into our last week. Thank you so much for bearing with us for just a little bit while we get back on track, guys. I do apologize for that. But we're in for a really good episode. And with us for that episode is Mike Isaac of the New York Times. How are you, Mike?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So to introduce this episode a little bit, we had initially planned on doing this a little bit close. We're talking about the Altman Musk trial. We'd initially had wanted to do this a little bit closer to the trial, but I think it gives us an advantage with some space and time for hindsight now that it's been, like a week and a half or something since the verdict and everything. Yeah. So I guess we'll just hop right into this, Mike. Why don't you, for our audience, if they don't know, if they missed this trial, what was it about and what led up to all this?
Yeah, I mean, and you wouldn't be you would be forgiven to not know exactly what this was about, because I had to do a shitload of reading just to understand what was going on when we went into it. But so basically, Elon Musk was one of the co-founders of OpenAI. For those who are not steeped in the criminology, and this is 2015. Years ago, he was a co-founder. They split up because Elon, being Elon, gets mad and then takes his ball and leaves. And years later, he decides to sue the company, which was a nonprofit when they began it, and then has morphed slowly into a for-profit or run by a nonprofit. It's very weird how they've organized it, but his point in this lawsuit is, I was duped that we started as a nonprofit, but Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, his co-founder, turned it into a for-profit, and that's not. I was defrauded out of the $38 million or whatever dollars that he used to fund it. That was
which is interesting because he's sued for $130 billion.
Yeah,
even though yeah. So
are you fucking okay? I knew this case. I was following it here and there. I didn't know he was that much of a fucking dumbass, dude. Yeah. What did he think was gonna happen? Yeah, okay, we'll pay 100. I mean, that has to be sort of like a destroying the company type thing. He's totally not trying to actually get that money. He's trying to destroy the company.
And he even tried to position it as it's not for me. I only want you to give it back to the charity, so it kills the company. So I'm being benevolent, but 100%. It's
yeah, he's trying for the jugular. He didn't want the money. He just wanted to kill. But which it seemed to me, Mike, and I would like to hear your take on this right off the bat. Yeah. This whole framing from Elon's camp of, well, you can't steal a charity. He used that line multiple times. How much money do you think he spent focus grouping that?
Oh my God. No. That was it was so funny because I went every day for.
Yeah, you were there, which is why we wanted you on this show. And we're going to talk about that for sure.
Totally. Yeah, totally. But you're totally right. There were specific lines. You can't steal a charity. And this is going to create a Terminator future that they 100% wanted. It was a jury trial. So he was basically trying to convince a jury with the simplest version possible of
hey,
what
you
this
stupid fucks, he's stealing a charity and doing Terminator to you.
Totally.
So much disdain in that.
Totally. He's I think you were fucking stupid. This is what you can understand, basically.
Yeah.
He really seemed to lean a lot into that, though. He would try to. I read a lot of your summaries of what was happening in the court cases, and the way that you described him talking to the jury, describing all of this, he was really leaning into the movies, like more than just Terminator. He kept being like he was going so deep in this like entertainment way of talking about AI, and it sounds like the jury and the judge were just like over it. They were fucking annoyed by him and the way he would talk about this shit, and would like shut him down several times, right? Like they were just like, stop, like Elon, stop. We're not here for this.
I think no, you're totally right. And like there's a version of this where maybe it worked if there was a jury of people who didn't know what was going on, or even like did but like he just thought we're stupid. But like it really was like kind of a disdain for how people can grasp what the actual like lawsuit was about, if that makes sense. The other one was like Star Trek. It was like we needed to make a Gene, I'm not a Star Trek person, but it was like a Gene Roddenberry future, which apparently is a good version of tech, I guess. I don't know. It was just, but you're exactly right. The judge was like, please shut the fuck up. Can we just move beyond that analogy?
Yeah.
No, it was from what I saw of this case, though, it's one of those rare cases that I will follow where it's like, I don't really like either of them. They're really both the worst people ever, and I don't really know who I want to win. But I like basically it's a win-win. Whoever loses for me, like whoever loses or wins, it's like I don't really care that much because it's. It felt like to me though that it was fairly obvious that Elon was sort of going to blow this. Is my read of the situation.
Self-inflicted wounds throughout the trial. Let's back up a little bit in the trial. So, Sam Altman's defense was essentially that, well, this was always the plan. We were always going to, to raise capital or something like that. We had to become like a private company, and Elon knew about this. So I just have to ask you this: as much as I think 90, I don't know why you wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't hate Elon, but 99% of our audience hates him. But it seemed to me that there actually might have been some substance to this, to his claim. Granted, it was leveled in bad faith because it's obviously outside of the whatever the time frame to file this and everything. But is there any merit to that? Did he actually know? What did we learn in Discovery?
No, so Discovery was awesome because it's just like a bunch of emails that people like me love to read, and like y'all get to like see how these people talk internally.
We are a Discovery perverts on this show. For sure.
Okay, good. I'm with my people, thank God. But it really was a version of like, this is tired because it's over and over, but the Onion headline of like the worst person you know made a great point.
That's how this feels,
And like, I think I think Elon's underlying point is probably correct. Whether it's legally defensible is one question, but like they did start out to make this thing a non-profit charitable endeavor, right? Like they never initially, let's say 2015 and early years, they were like, the whole point of this is that it's a non-capitalistic endeavor. We don't want any one person to control it because in their mind, the way they were talking about it, AI is too dangerous. And again, they talk about this like they seem to really believe it in these emails.
Which is interesting. In internal, like now we know they say, we have to control this or China will do Terminator to us or somebody worse than me will do. Somebody's going to do Terminator to somebody. But in private, they do talk like this to each other, which I found fascinating in Discovery.
Totally. That was I'm right there with you. And like for years now, I've been super like, you say this shit. And like, it's to, I don't know, like
it's a marketing trick.
Yeah,
totally. Give me money or I'll do Terminator to you or someone else.
100%. But like, this was like 10, 11 years ago when it was like 3 dudes on an email chain. And like, I'm sure there's some posturing, but it's still like, I don't know. They seem to like really buy into that then. So anyway, long story short, like there was like, that's one of those things where the initial version of this was never supposed to be a for-profit endeavor. And then cut to a few years later, and then they see like big dollar signs in their eyes when this becomes an actual thing that people care about, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of been the weird thing about this case is it is like underlying point here is like I don't think it's controversial to say that Elon is kind of right about that. But again, I think for him, it's nefarious purposes because he put, I think it was $38 million into it. And then, of course, like he makes it about himself. He's like, I feel cheated. I don't think he really cares too much. But I do agree that like this like cycling of money between like OpenAI and Microsoft and like all these different AI companies between each other, it's like, this is ridiculous. This is like fucking stupid. Like it shouldn't be like this.
Totally.
To your point, June, and Mike, I'd like your insight on this as well. When they split, initially, the split didn't seem too acrimonious. It seemed like not that, you know what I mean? As I recall, Elon even continued to pay their rent for a time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it wasn't good, obviously, when he backed out, but it wasn't like they weren't the enemies that they are now. Is that a good take on that?
No, I think you're right. Like the way that I've not been like a super close Elon reporter for forever, like some people out there, but I've known him long enough, or known and reported around him long enough. We are not homies to like know that he can like get frustrated, and when he doesn't get his way, he just sort of like what I said before, takes his ball and goes home. And so like when he did that in 2017 or 18, I want to say, he was like, hey, okay, look, like I want to run this and like I want to control it, and clearly you guys aren't okay with that, so like I'm out. But yeah, he was like, you do it, but I still am paying, the not cheap version of your rent in San Francisco for the company for the next, few months at least. And I think but the point I think also was like, he didn't think of it as like an existential threat at that point. He's just like, fuck it, whatever. This is too much of a headache for me to deal with. I'm going to do this on my own anyway, sort of thing,
Totally.
And it only took, and even I vaguely remember also Sam was like not famous then. He's arguably not that famous now. Like most normal people still probably don't know the name Sam Altman, but he's like, more famous and important now. But like Elon was like the big guy at the company at the time. So him leaving kind of was like, oh, well, this is going to, of course, fucking die because I'm not there anymore, if that makes sense.
It sort of took Elon a while to get back into the AI game. Is there any insights or anything we know why it took him like 8 years after leaving to like finally be like, okay, time to put my foot somewhere again?
So, well, this is also the weird thing about having traveled through that is like, if you look back around this time, a lot of his shit was like blowing up at that time. This was like 2018, 2019 was when the 420 funding secured stuff was. You remember that? The SEC was coming after him, and like his car company, like he had all these short sellers in Tesla that were fucking with him, and like these like money, funding issues, and then like. What was SpaceX? SpaceX is like the only thing that kind of has actually worked for him. But like he was going through so much shit at the time and like kind of having a mental breakdown. I think like it was another. It was like AI was like, okay, I don't need to worry about it to a huge degree, except in the case of like it was. I would say the like way it was mainly stuck in his mind of how can I do this as an applied way was like Tesla. Self-driving
was like his foray into it. Yeah,
I totally.
Shifting gears here, I wonder if what we're seeing with this is kind of tied to. I don't know if either of you guys have been paying attention to this, but like attorney generals from a bunch of red states. There's like I don't remember all off the top of my head, like Florida, Montana, Nebraska, West Virginia, whatever. A bunch of these AGs like. Wrote to the SEC chair to like investigate open AI ahead of the IPO. How much of this do you think is Elon maybe calling in favors behind the scenes? I mean, it seems pretty obvious that he views OpenAI as an existential threat, and his ties to the Trump administration and the GOP. That's not. It cannot be a coincidence that this is happening at the same time, right prior to their IPO, which is coming next month, isn't it?
Oh God!
I think they're gonna file pretty soon if they haven't already. We're trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
No, but like that's the other. So it's funny. I've been like a Meta Facebook beat reporter for a long time, and then I got thrown onto AI stuff in the past few months, really. But like over the past couple of years, I've been digging into it and like learning about how insane all these people are and how they go after each other, like with all this like dark money, like behind the scenes stuff, and like astroturfing this shit, like funding, like it's really wild in a super. I mean, it's sort of like American politics in a way. I mean, all politics in a way, you know, like just like weird, shady groups going around. I think you're probably right. Like that Elon does have a bunch of money going into, it's actually made OpenAI incredibly paranoid and kind of freaking out and lashing out at people a lot because of this. But there are also these grassroots. See, it's hard to disentangle the where the Elon money is versus where the like grassroots, like actual OpenAI haters are, you know, and then they're all kind of, some of them are like within the Venn diagram in the middle, you know. It's so crazy.
For people who don't know this, I think that there's like you don't got to give it to ISIS or whatever, but like some of the stuff that they're asking about is substantive because Sam Altman doesn't make his money necessarily from OpenAI. He has his investments are in, infrastructure AI companies, third party, and they're saying, well, wait a second, OpenAI is investing into some of these companies that he has financial ties to, and that would be true if it was anybody else but Elon Musk making this accusation, right? So it's just one of those things where like everybody's wrong, everybody's throwing shit at each other, and everybody else is already covered in shit, and everybody wants to do Terminator to each other. I don't know. It's really tough because there's a lot of actual, when I'm reading through this, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. This is fucked up that Sam Altman is doing this or whatever, but why are we choosing this as the thing that we care about now? You know what I mean?
I really want I'm gonna do Terminator to you to just start taking off like a little kid on the playground. I'm gonna fucking Terminator you.
My dad is actually a Terminator. I'm gonna send him after you.
But you're totally right, man. Like the folks. There are actual groups that are team no one, basically, including people outside of the court that were just like, everyone fucking sucks here. Like that was like a political position that folks take, basically. It's very
the real centrists.
Yeah.
Speaking of court, can we talk about that? This is like the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. What was it like in there? Oh my, because there's so many things that I read. I was just like, you have to be fucking kidding me.
Your threads were great for this reason, because I was losing my mind at some of the things that you wrote about.
Was it, Mike, was it you that wrote about the girl who fell asleep?
Oh no, that was not me, but they were behind me, but I did hear about that person. Oh my God. It was so fucking crazy. Like that was the people who were like kind of the circus or the folks there. A lot of people learned about the trial like a couple days into it because like, look, it was not exactly easy for the average person to find out about. People that were following it closely were there, but that the 2 or 3 days into it, really the second or third day, when people started hearing that Musk was there also, he only came for like the first 3 days basically, but that's when everyone started showing up that was like real weird or real interesting. And so you would get, oh man, the lady that was I don't even know how to describe it, that got like screamed at by the judge for like taking a photo of Musk. It was so wild, and like I was like dying of secondhand.
You can go to jail for that, can't you?
Like, yeah, they were like huge deputies like fucking pushing her in the front. It was so crazy. And then the lady was like, I'm dyslexic. I couldn't read the signs around the courthouse. That I was like, come on, dude. It was really brutal. And then like another guy did it on the last day, and he like tried to fight back. Like all of these real characters showed up, and then like kids who just like, I don't know, they would like fist pump when Elon would make a joke or something.
When he got as one of his jokes, and I heard people were like fist pump. You, dude, you're a dog person if you fist pump in court if Elon makes a point. But I thought it was just for context. The woman who fell asleep. The thing was that she showed up and all she did was from what I read, is that she showed up to take notes of just the emails that came up, like in, you know what I mean, whichever ones. So he took notes on whatever emails popped up for Elon Musk. Then when that was done, she didn't care and fell asleep. That's all she was there to do. She just wanted to email him.
Holy shit! I didn't even see that. That's so funny.
So
My other
good.
favorite was this lady who refused. I was actually really wanted to know more about her. She was always in, like, she had these insane braids that I don't know how to describe it. She looked like Princess Leia in the bikini in the Star Wars, but then like people would ask her. We had this like makeshift line sort of system when you're like a court reporting. Like there comes a sort of like foxhole camaraderie thing, and so you have to organize like who gets in the line. Only 30 people can get into the court per day, so you know, playing by the rules and getting stickers was fine. And this lady, we would make the line list and then give our names, and this lady would never give her name. Like she was like, I am uncomfortable giving my name. And then like people would take photos and she'd like duck and turn her head away, and I was like, who is this, like a CIA asset? Like why are you
so weird.
being, but it was all people like that were just very.
Everyone's an
like-
alien. Why is everyone an alien here?
I just feel like if you like don't want to be noticed, don't do the Princess Leia like braids. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like blend in a little bit better than that. So how does that work? As a court reporter, do you get priority over the general public to get in, or how does that? What's the system like?
So actually we for months leading up to it, a colleague of mine, Cade Metz, and we were the ones sort of not in charge. What is it? On the hook for reporting, but because there was such demand to get into this, to get media passes for it, they limited it fairly to one pass per outlet, right?
Sure.
And so if you had the pass, you could go in, and there was like 20 seats for media, so you could go in, bypass this line, and get in pretty quick and wouldn't have to get there super early.
So you got to walk past all the libertarian freaks that were just barking.
That's right. And so because we both were going every day, we sort of traded off. So some days I had to get up at 5 a.m. to make sure I got one of the 30 unreserved seats, who anyone could go for. And then some days I got to sleep till 7 a.m., which was nice. But so basically like there were 30 unreserved seats and anyone could go for them, whether it was like, there were a lot of like observing lawyers too, like other just like for high profile cases like these, I just find like a ton of lawyers come out of the woodwork, or like firms like go send their like underlings to go type up notes and stuff like that. You know, it was super interesting. Students, like
The subjects aside, this is a very interesting case.
Totally.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, totally. It was super. Like it was, I had a lot of fun. I was like complaining a lot for being super tired, but like it was like genuinely fascinating stuff. Like there's only so many things that can haul the world's most powerful, rich and powerful people in front of them, and like a federal court requiring you to come there, at least for now, is one of those. So it was like super interesting to just see. And to see them get smacked by the judge was also very funny. Like just get dressed down. They're like clearly not used to getting like told no or talked to like that.
When a judge knows you're a freak, that's how you know. That's how you know you got to step back a little bit. But I just am fascinated by the amount of characters and just like how rowdy this courtroom seemed for how short. It was a fairly short case. Yeah. It was like only a week?
No, it was
so far,
through 3 weeks, I want to say.
I mean, that's still fairly short.
But
I feel
yeah,
like.
it was pretty. She was like, so the judge, Yvonne, I believe it's Gonzalez Rogers. She was like she's known for being like a hard ass and very strict in very charming ways to me. She would like make all the lawyers like shut up and like, all these people who were getting paid like $3,000 an hour just had to like say, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. But she was like very fast. She's very on it. She's like, you're on a clock. Each side only gets so many hours to question witnesses. They had to like divide their time up and, be more strategic than I realized just on how much time you're spending with a given witness. And, she would tell them no a lot when they would try getting certain things in. One of the things you were talking about, the Terminator thing, one of the things she had to tell Elon's side to knock it off was like, this existential threat AI stuff. She's like, look, that is not the purview of the case. You keep fucking going on about this. They tried to bring in this expert, but yeah, exactly. She was like, chill out and stop it. I don't know how much of that came through from the outside or that you guys saw.
Oh, I mean, that was sort of my takeaway, is that Elon was sort of doing the whole Terminator angle. Like, we have to be really careful about this. And it's like, but that's not really why you convened this court case. That's like, you're talking about something totally different. And I don't know if that was purposefully strategical on his part. If I feel like he had to have known he was not going to succeed here and was trying to create a narrative, or if he really truly is just that stupid. I think it's honestly the former in this case.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he clearly benefits from the headlines and keeping Sam Altman tied up going into this IPO. So whether or not he thought he had any chance of winning, I don't know, but he still benefits anyway.
I think so too.
I think that's right. I think, look, if he wins, he deals not necessarily a kill stroke, but he fucks up OpenAI royally in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
If he loses, he's out lawyer fees, and that's it.
That's chump change to him. Yeah,
right?
That's
yeah,
nothing.
Exactly. So I think he was really, and he's also someone who doesn't have a problem. This is being an understatement. Doesn't have a problem being disingenuous on why he's doing certain things, and so he can say, yeah, of course, principle, blah blah blah. But as long as they can't prove that he's perjuring himself or whatever, he can just do this whole thing all day long. So I totally agree.
So Elon's angle was sort of, if Sam Altman gets his way, he's going to destroy the planet. What was OpenAI and Sam Altman's angle going into this? Did they sort of stick to the, hey, you were too late? Was that really all they were doing here?
I think there were a few things. One, there's statute of limitations, which I think they were smart. Ultimately, they were smart to stick to and say, look, you have 3 years from when you find out that something, or when you say you found out that they're trying to change this into a for-profit, then you have a 3-year window of time to file your lawsuit. And so a lot of what OpenAI was focusing on were emails explicitly saying, here was when we are talking about changing it. And these emails go back to 2017 or 20, very long.
So it was pretty clear that Elon Musk was aware, is what it sounds like. He knew that this was going to happen. And totally. I'll be honest, I feel like maybe it's just hindsight, but knowing where we're at now, it seems fairly obvious it had to have gone that way if they were trying to bring it to the scale they're trying to now. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just I'm just looking back oh, duh, because that's how it is now. But it just is this was obviously going to be a huge money investment if they wanted to ramp it up this way.
And they found that out fairly early on, I would argue. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there is some level of hindsight, but even back when they were doing the math on how much computing power costs to train these models, this was already adding up, way back then, so it's very hard to make the argument that you didn't know you would require X amount of money to do this. Now, whether that means you should or should not convert the thing into a for-profit company is one thing, but you had to have known it then because it was you're literally getting the computing bills. You need either Elon to cough up more cash or do something else, basically.
I kind of wish they just had him keep coughing up more cash. That would have been really funny, honestly. Just drain him.
Yeah, seriously. Although then you'd have Elon in charge of OpenAI, which your mileage may vary. Yeah.
See, that's the thing, is these two, they're both just odious, awful people. I just hate them both. There's not a scenario where it's would Elon be worse as the head of OpenAI? I don't really think so. It would be bad, but in a similar way, but just more. Just more chud-like. It's a different chud evil.
Terminator apocalypse or the base Terminator apocalypse?
Yeah, that's what it would be, exactly. Because we see what he does with Grok and XAI. It's just it's basically the same but way worse, and also the same weird British transphobic turf that you see in Twitter replies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only difference.
You would somehow inject J.K. Rowling's voice into ChatGPT or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Which made me kill myself faster.
Mike, let's go back to the courtroom for a second.
Yeah.
What witnesses, like what events did you find particularly compelling? Was there anything that really stood out to you as like somebody that brought new information that you had previously considered, or anything that stands out to you?
So yeah, let's see. Well, there are a few big moments that were really interesting. One, I do see. So obviously, a lot of the folks who listen to this and yourselves are not huge Elon fans, but I see how he puts his thing on for the public. So the whole time he was talking to the jury, right? He's not talking to me. He's not talking to the judge. He's not even talking to his lawyer. When he answered questions, he's sitting there and facing the jury. And this is a lawyers advise their clients to do this, but for him, what he does is puts on this thing that I think has historically charmed Silicon Valley people, technologists, sort of this idea where he talks in his very muttery Elon sort of stumbling way, but about these big audacious things, right? And him walking through how he wants to take us to Mars or the moon or whatever. He's rattling off what he's having for breakfast or something. I think I can see how the average person could, or just a person could be wow, look at this entrepreneur. Da, 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 da. It was because, we've heard this shtick for so long, I just sort of roll my eyes at it. But I was just okay, now I see how this can work on someone or whatever. I mean, clearly it didn't in this case, but I saw that for the first time, with people. The other thing I would say is Altman, when Altman got up and testified, Elon's lawyer, this guy named Stephen Mullo, who's a big trial attorney, he just blasts him in the fucking face with basically he just calls him a liar for 3 hours. And it was insane. It was very Altman is this interesting character who like tries to sort of play demure is the wrong word, but just sort of like, okay, I'm being humble, like I'm the thoughtful technologist, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And so after he did that for a bit, but then he started getting rattled, I would say. Like he and like, to be fair, like if someone called me a fucking liar for like hours, I probably would not be happy. But I've never really seen him not lose control, but just sort of have a different sort of non-studied affect that he usually has. And it was very interesting to see him get like openly frustrated on the stand there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's right. I've never really thought about that, but he always does come off as like sort of a traditional Silicon Valley type of guy, where I feel like there was that shift in 2022, 2023 in particular, especially leading up to the 24 election. But like Silicon Valley people aren't like the Sam Altman types anymore. They're sort of like like bashing their fist on the table, like, you got to get this at my desk right now. This isn't like, they threw out the the bouncy ball seats that they once had back in the 2010s. Though they don't got those anymore. They don't feed them. But Sam Altman is like sort of. And I don't think he is. I think he puts on a lot of these people in the past put on this facade. I don't think he is, but he does code that way still. I think in a way he codes as like a woke guy in a way, even though he's not. But he does code that way.
Totally.
So, yeah.
And like it's very like he's been around. Y'all have seen the like photos of him from his startup days with like the 14 collars, like popped collars or whatever, and the like Y Combinator, this startup incubator out there that he ran. And like he has gone through, he's like not that old, but like he's gone through a number of those valley shifts where CEOs, exactly what you said, June, is like are coded one way. Like I'm the empathetic or quote unquote empathetic person who cares about identity politics, or if you're comfortable and emotionally available at work or whatever, you know.
I'm the cool boss. Let's sit down and play some Mortal Kombat together.
Yeah, and now it feels very, and so I think that was like the utility of this is like puncturing that, even briefly in front of a courtroom of people, I think can be really useful, you know, or useful for people like me, and also like it's really nice to quote unquote nice to just sort of like share a space with these people, because you get the feelings like after all of the trappings of like I'm on stage and I have all these like things behind me and all of my PR people are everywhere, like you just can get a vibe of like a person. And I've been around Sam many times, but I'd never been in a physical same room as Elon, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it, I get your deal now. It was very helpful, probably deflating. Not that I bought any of his bullshit before, but like it was.
You could see
helpful.
how it worked.
Yeah, totally.
And I think to go on to the point you were saying earlier, where it like just doesn't work anymore. It's like I feel like there has been such a loss of trust between the technologist type people, especially the people that run these companies, and just the general public. I mean, we talk about that all the time on the show, where, I mean, the opposition to data centers is unbelievable. Like pretty much every demographic in the country trusts like the construction of data centers less than they trust ICE, which is an unpopular agency. Like there have been multiple polls that show that data centers are less popular than ICE, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
So it's like, this is not a popular moment for these people. And I think it's crazy that Elon Musk, I don't know if he mentioned it in this court case at all in court, but he, for a while now, has sort of shifted away from like, we're going to colonize Mars, we're going to do all this, we're going to do this and that, but he's sort of shifted to, we're going to put data centers in space. And it's like, who's buying that bullshit? No one believes that. I feel like no one believes it. And it's just because they keep saying all these different promises, like walk them all back, then they fuck us all over, then they support Donald Trump, and then destroy their like facade that they had going on. And then it's like, why would anyone trust this? No one believes that in our lifetime there will be data centers in space around the moon or the sun or whatever that his plan is. Like, did he bring that up in the court at all specifically? Because it's been his like new thing is what I've noticed. No,
you're totally right. And like a lot of that's actually something I'm going to try to write about this week, is like he has this IPO coming up with the SpaceX IPO, and in order to sort of make XAI work, which is now some bolted onto Twitter or whatever, he had to like acquire that by SpaceX, and then to like justify the share valuation that they want to go public at, they have to spin this whole new story of, oh, well, we're also an AI company and we're going to build data centers in space. None of this fucking shit is anywhere close to that, if ever, right? But like they have to have a story to tell the street, and it's you are right to be skeptical. What is, I think, so instructive or very helpful for me to realize that y'all may be closer to than I am, but is just like, that is the thing that CEOs are starting to only finally understand, which is like they're not as popular as they think they might be, or the tech that they're building is not as popular as they have thought it was, because they've been in an echo chamber of their own people for a very long time.
Yeah. I think it's kind of insane about, just as a little aside, the SpaceX IPO 2 coming up, is that they're like fast tracking it into index funds.
Yes.
Which, if you don't know what that means, that essentially means pensions, teachers' pensions, and 401ks that purchase into index funds will essentially by default own this piece of shit stock.
Your face is perfect. Way. You have no idea. I'm writing about this week, actually. It's so fucked up. Keep going,
Caleb. Know that.
Yeah. He lumps all of his companies together. Twitter, which we all know has not turned, he is not profitable. He's lost his ass on. But he also owes, I think he's just on interest. He's paying like $1 billion a year for Twitter. And he's got it, for all these various Peter Thiel and the Saudi princes and banks and stuff like that. So that he can finally get them off his back, he lumps this all into one thing, fast tracks it into these index funds, and becomes the world's richest man, despite all of these companies. Like, Tesla's not even really making cars anymore. You know what I mean? Like, we found out also recently that Tesla or SpaceX purchased like $100 million worth of Cybertrucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is all being rolled into one thing, and that's going to like poison pill the entire economy.
So scary, dude.
It's just crazy.
It's such the index fund thing is so, that I think is one of the most disturbing. So like
What is an index fund for people who don't know?
Totally. So index funds are like it's in the name in that it's an index of the overall market. So if you're buying, essentially what you're doing is instead of investing in particular stocks, you're investing into a fund which then picks different stocks as a representative of the overall market, right? And so index
like
funds,
NASDAQ, Dow Jones, those are index funds.
Yeah, and historically, index funds are good investments because they perform probably roughly 8 to 10%, or let's say anywhere from 6 to 10% annual yield and returns, which is great, and like outperforms different individual stocks and stuff like that. And like those are things that often go into your 401ks or it's like kind of like the same sort of thing, right? Like there's your pensions, your 401ks are kind of like pieced up with the idea that it's safer to bet on a stronger overall economy if you sort of amortize that out across a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
The other part of
are
it,
chosen for index funds typically because they're not volatile, they're stable.
Correct. And the rules around getting into an index fund is that it usually takes a year for a stock to get into them, and like that gives it time to swing back and forth, and like the volatility sort of goes away. They also have to be accepted in general, and there also has to be something what's called a float really matters, like the amount of shares available per purchasing. SpaceX has a very low float because of the amount of shares that are not going to be offered for sale initially, so which in turn makes it an even more volatile stock because the more that it's bought or sold. So like all of those things that would protect what's called a retail investor, you or me, although I don't invest, but like a retail investor, like from potentially losing their fucking shirt on a stock are getting thrown out the window because all of these index funds are allowing SpaceX into their into the index immediately, basically after 5 days.
Can I ask a dumb question, Mike?
Not dumb, but go ahead. Yeah.
Why?
Why? I know you're gonna ask, and it's not a dumb question. It's exactly what we should. So there is a counter argument, which I think what they would say, what the index funds are saying, and I've gotten a number of statements to this effect that I'm going to talk about this week, is like, look, the amount of money, the amount of like gains on the table that tech and the tech sector represent right now is outsized compared to the rest of the market and the gains like that make up the rest of the market. And like, it is accurate to say that tech companies make up a huge fucking part of like the gains of the, like, certainly the American economy, but like the global economy at this point, right? And so there's a philosophical divide of like, can you represent the index of the market without important tech stocks? And I take that point, but at the same time, the biggest gainers and the biggest like movers in tech land have all been out there for like years and years now, and took time to get into those indices. You know, it wasn't just immediately, here you go, SpaceX, you know, this unproven essentially stock into the market, or into the index. And so SpaceX is the first one. Assuming this, they're also preparing this for Anthropic and OpenAI, which are going to come potentially this year. So like, their whole argument is, we don't want to miss out.
It's very important that we fast track, including these horrible companies that don't turn a profit into these.
I mean, I was going to say it's sort of a big bet on AI, but it's sort of the entire market and government maybe and economy saying this is here. We will float this. We have to do this. There is 100%. No choice here. They are doing it.
That's the thing that I think just in my reporting, my career, and like. It's like the underlying point that everyone seems to cede is like personal agency. It's always like, this is inevitable and we have no choice, so get on the fucking train. And like, that bothers me.
Behind.
Yeah. We do have a choice. We can choose, but like people forget that because they get caught up in like, okay, this is what people are telling me, I guess we have to get on the train. You know, it's just disturbing.
Totally agree. I think that's why so many people are so opposed to all of this too, is that it feels like everyone is losing their agency and choice here. Totally. This is not, you know, I was a child when computers and like phones, specifically iPhones, I was very young. But I feel like when I was a child, when I was like 11 or however old I was, and iPhones came out, it wasn't like you're going to be left behind if you don't buy this phone and don't download apps. You're a fucking idiot if you don't do that. It was sort of like, oh my God, look at this cool thing. Yeah. And it was sort of a word of mouth sort of.
Look at it. You have an app where you can drink a beer on it. Everyone's like, oh, dude.
That is why I bought my iPhone.
The beer
and
app.
The gun. Don't forget about the gun.
The gun, yeah.
Two things I couldn't do at 16, and I needed them both in app form.
Yes. Thank you, Apple. But you know, it's like sort of this inversion of marketing where it's sort of a fear tactic now. It isn't just like a, hey, this is a thing. This is a cool thing. It's a, hey, you will be killed if you don't use ChatGPT.
To put the data center in your town. It's going to make the air worse. It's going to make the area surrounding it hotter. It's going to be loud. You have to have your 401k invest in this. It's going to destroy your future, and all for the sake of the plagiarism machine that makes child porn. Like, of course, people hate it, and they just admittedly say the best possible outcome is the Terminator future.
What is it like?
There's nothing. Yeah, I'm actually shocked that it's ICE is like the thing that we're comparing it to. Like, data centers need to pull around the same rate as cancer cells. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's totally. It's one of the. So now it's funny that now the CEOs are understanding it only now, but it's because again, I live in Oakland, thankfully, which is slightly more separated than the city. Although the city is wonderful, I love the Bay Area, but like it's still like a microcosm of people talking to one another and tons of money and like not experiencing real problems in real life if you live in a certain income echelon.
Yeah.
And so only now when they have seen unbelievable amounts of pushback compared to like what they're used to, are they starting to change their tune and going from they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't talk about like how you are going to be poor and unemployed and instead and like fucking like stupid, and instead like change the message of here are all the great things you can do and here are the like economic gain. Like literally like just this week we saw Sam tweeting like AI is going to be the great enabler, sort of. They're basically going from glass half empty to glass half full. But like, if you spend the past like 3 to 4 years just telling people that they're fucking idiots, like you said, Jim, like it's hard to just fully change gears and make everyone think you're on the level.
The way that they talk about even just like base level stuff surrounding this is just so foreign and strange to me, as I guess just a normal dum-dum. What's the guy's name? Ilya Sutskever? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
What was that? He's like, the difference between AI now and then was an ant and a cat. And, could you please tell me about that?
I'm sorry, I forgot to bring him up because he was my favorite fucking part of that trial.
So tell me about him. What's his deal?
Okay. He seems like a real critter.
He's... Sorry. That's perfect. I'm sorry. He was fully a character. So Ilya Sutskever is one of the co-founders of OpenAI. He had a big history at a bunch of different AI companies. I believe it was at Google, just highly sort of respected among like engineering types. And he's fully like he stepped off of another planet, and just the way he thinks and talks and presents, he's so I just don't like, just being in the room with him, I was like, holy fuck, this guy is an amazing person to write about. He would talk about the Terminator. He would just like scan the room like the T-800, like he had like information beaming into his eyes as he was staring at it, like as he was like looking at me. It was like he was looking right through me, but that like my height and weight and like facial features was showing on a screen in his head. That's how I felt, the way he would look around. But
Bro was a sentinel.
I need everybody also to, if you're listening to this, please just look at a picture of him, and I don't want to
Yes.
I'm not necessarily making fun of him, but he has this dour look about him, and then he also, I don't know if he's done anything about it, but he has the craziest hairline of all time.
It's so no, and he has a power move of not fucking with that hairline at all. Like, he's like, no, this is my hairline, and it's still his thing. And as a bald man, I fully respect the this is my hairline.
It takes some yutzpah to rock that. I have to give him that.
He's very distinctive.
He just, like, I don't know, every picture I've seen of him, he does look like the T-1000 or something, just scanning. You know what I mean? Just a very dour,
They keep talking about the Terminator because they have him already.
I was going to say, it's the only thing they can relate to, exactly. But, like, his analogy that I love that you just brought up is so basically there was this question that one of the lawyers was talking about. I'm trying to remember the context. I can't remember the context, but it was comparing the computing abilities of AI in 2015 to the computing abilities, thinking abilities of AI today. And the analogy he kept saying was, it is like the difference between an ant and a cat. And the way it was like a pregnant paw. It was so fucking beautiful, man. Like, the way he just said it was just like this very dramatic pause. And he's everything that all of these AI guys like want to have the mystique of. But I think this dude just lives it. He's like a true believer. Like, whatever you say
it's
about
like if Ivan Drago
guys
got into computers instead of fighting.
Exactly. I really loved it. Like, I'm endlessly fascinated by this dude. I want to profile him, but he'll never get near me, basically. I don't know.
Yeah.
So with this case, so it was thrown out, and I think Elon went to appeals with it. So, like, is this over? Is this basically just sort of done, but Elon's just going to try to keep it alive? What are the implications? Like, what should we expect going forward in this battle? Is there anything to expect?
My favorite, I was doing some interview and someone said the line that made me think of the end of Burn After Reading, which is just, what did we learn here, right? Which is beautiful, because it's exactly what happened, which is like nothing fucking happened, but like they threw out the case on, or the jury came back. I'm sorry. So the jury was asked to, convene and deliberate on a Friday. The case sort of ended, arguments ended. Sorry, that was a Thursday. Fridays they have off. So Monday we come back. As we're in court, the judge is hearing like arguments for what remedies should be. Then they get interrupted like 2.5 hours into that and say, hey, the jury's got a verdict. They walk back in and say, this is bullshit. Yeah, it's done. And like 2.5 hours is very fast, as you might imagine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And, or maybe it was less than 2.5. Maybe it was like 2 hours. But, and it was all on statute of limitations. Basically, like the exact thing that OpenAI was saying, which, like, dude, you knew about this like way longer than like 3 years ago. Come on. So yeah, his plan, according to his lawyer, we were in the hallway and reporters were like, hey, Mark Toberoff, what do we got to do? And he just said one word, appeal. And that's what they're going to do. And like, it's the whole strategy by Elon is just tie him up in court, throw as much money at it as possible, and make it a giant pain in the ass for OpenAI as long as he can, which is what they're going to do. And like, if like from a strategic point of view, I guess that's probably smart of him, but like,
it's sadly a strategy that works in courts very well and easily.
Totally.
Yeah,
totally. I doubt it. I doubt like it was a jury that ruled and a judge that approved the verdict, and if it's a federal judge, and like the way these things go, like it would be very surprising to me if this were overturned on appeal, but who the fuck knows, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'd be fun if there was a round 2 and I can go back and like get more fucking weirdos in the court with me. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess follow up with that is like, it's like there's not really any implications here. It's just sort of like you're done. You're done, Elon. Is that really all that it is here?
I think it was very. I mean, look, the thing that I'm curious about is exactly what you're talking about, like these AGs that maybe they're like. It sort of surprised me that the California AG Rob Bonta sort of was like, yeah, the conversion to a for-profit company or there's a nonprofit that runs a for-profit is totally fine. Like there was a significant amount of pushback across the state from that, across these special interest groups. So like if these other AGs get any headway, or if Musk gets some headway with this appeal, that would be interesting. Again, it goes back to this, like, you have some point in there, you know, like a lot of the early promises that they made, the charity, which OpenAI's lawyers kept saying, this is the most profitable, or this is the most wealthy charity on the face of the earth. You know, it's in charge of, but like, it didn't have any money in its fucking balance until like earlier this year, right?
Yeah,
like everything they were doing didn't suggest that they were running it as a charity, but it's just, yeah. So I don't know. It's the whole thing is kind of a farce, but it's. I do think it was nice to have a bunch of this shit come spill out into the public and get more attention on like how once money enters the equation a lot of the time, the sort of so-called high-flying, you know, highfalutin philosophical approach to why you want to do this thing starts to take a backseat.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely a super interesting aspect. I mean, I love Discovery, so hearing that they actually have been long believers in like this AGI sort of takeover is sadly fascinating too.
It's crazy, right?
It's really weird. I really didn't know that. I didn't really believe them when they said these things. I genuinely did not.
Even Elon, like that was and like the degree to which Musk and I guess Sam and others like were scared of Larry Page, were scared of Demis Hassabis, who runs DeepMind, which is their sort of like giant Google's like big AI lab type thing. Like everyone, I guess I should point out, like the whole genesis of OpenAI was like a reaction to Google and Larry Page being in charge of AI. And both Elon and Sam Altman and Ilya and a bunch of like the co-founders were all like, you know, we are worried about AI, but you know, we also think it's inevitable, and we think that Larry Page is the wrong fucking guy to be running it because he doesn't care about humanity. He just cares about the robots or whatever. So that was like the degree to which that was like the founding story of all this was super interesting to me.
It's odd, especially because whenever I do see Elon Musk either on Twitter or wherever talk about AI, he does always talk about how he's like he doesn't trust a lot of these different companies to go this route. Like he thinks that they will, and it's like, do I trust Elon Musk to not also do this? Not really, but it is weird that he is the only one that seems to sort of have any doubt about where this is going.
Totally.
And I feel very complicated about that because he's like the worst dude. So I should not be like, okay, but he has like a minor point on this. I just don't think he's actually cares or will do anything different.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Like, what is it? What happens when you like, okay, now say you get your ultimate future and you're the guy running it, you know, like, then what?
We know Elon. He's a fucking, he will do anything for a dime, basically.
Yeah.
You just fucked up my Sunday by thinking about it.
No, I had a great time. I love thinking about this stuff.
Good.
Mike, any closing thoughts? And if not, where can our listeners find you for more on your upcoming article about the very expensive poison pill that we're about to experience?
Totally. I'll just tweet about it. You don't have to read the actual paper if you don't want to, but I'm just at Mike Isaac on Twitter. I write it, but like these days I write a lot about AI companies and like the follies of capitalism in the business section, and it's been pretty fun, like just doing a bunch of higher level stories. And I think like just as a closing, I appreciate that people, certainly folks like yourselves, but just like more people in general than I expected, are saying like, hey, I at least want to have a voice or a say in this rather than you just telling me this is the new way it's going. And I think that is sinking into how these people run their companies, and it's having them have to change, and like that is really. I can't, as part of my job, I can't quote unquote take a stance, but I do think that people should be able to make their minds up about this stuff and make decisions on how they want it to affect their lives, and that's happening, and I feel very good about that. If that makes sense.
Hell yeah,
totally. Mike, thank you so much for spending an hour with us. A genuine pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to come back, you got an article, feel free to hit us up. We'd love to have you anytime.
I will. You were both very lovely, so thank you for having me.
You are as well. Thank you so much for coming on.
Right on.
All right. We'll see. Do we have any announcements, housekeeping, anything?
I don't think so. Yeah, just stay tuned. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. Sorry for that little break that we had. We will be full force again as soon as you hear this. So
totally.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I would say the Sideload series announcements are probably. I can commit to those announcing, and we said we were going to announce them summer, and it's June. So. Okay, yeah, well, so stay tuned for that. We've got a couple we want to do. We just have to dot some I's, cross some T's, so to speak. And yeah, we'll see you next time then.
See ya.
Bye.
the computer.